Hi everyone, today we have a new episode of English Talk Show interviews with Alexey Sherbachev, our new guest, and he will... Sherbachev. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I probably read your surname on Facebook and
in English only.
couldn't remember it properly. So Alexey, tell us something about yourself. I just want to make a very brief introduction. So some time ago, I saw you from time to time at my English talk show, but anyway, I remembered you well because one of the visitors for our English club told us that you look like a good porn actor. What else could you say about yourself?
I can say that I have, besides typical questions, what is my profession, there are two other questions that people usually ask me and that I try to not answer directly.
Mm-hmm.
One is how old I am, and
I'm not really interested, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
I mean, you look good, so even if you are 50 or 60, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, yeah. And the second question is where are you from? And usually people ask that in other countries, and they try to guess that by my accent, like where I'm from. And I play a game with them. And the rules are they can ask whatever they want about me or about the place without
asking directly where you're from.
Yeah. So something like, do you have eggs in your country, or like do you have a sea in your country, for example, or do you have an ocean or something like that, and that makes it a little bit more funny. So that's the story.
Okay, so what could we know about you? What do you want to say about yourself? I mean, your occupation, what you like, what you dislike.
I'm an entrepreneur. I run a software company in Rostov, and we have a presence in US. We mostly work with US customers and America, Canada, and a little bit with other countries like Brazil, Mexico, and stuff like that.
But basically, you live in Russia.
I live in Russia. I've been traveling a lot. I don't remember how many countries I have on my list, but it's long, and I don't think that like traveling for the sake of traveling is a good way to spend your time or spend your vacation or like do whatever.
So you need to travel somewhere on purpose.
On purpose.
With some purpose.
Yeah, I need a really good reason to go somewhere. It can be a business trip, that's perfect, or it can be like visiting a friend, or sometimes I had a couple of times that we got to run a marathon in a foreign city, and that's good enough. I mean, you can run a marathon, you can have a look around the city, walk around the city, and meet local people, get know culture and so on.
Alexey, your English is good enough. I mean, your English is quite, I would say, native-like. So what could you tell us about your relation with this language, and why do you think it's really important for an average Rostovite to know English properly?
English is very important because it opens possibilities in career and also in traveling.
Sorry, I want to make sure that everything works, but you continue.
Sure. Because when you can speak in English and when you can write in English fluently, you're not longer limited to Rostov only. And just like our company, we can work with the entire world, and we work with America, and they are far away from here, like really far away from here. Without knowing English, we wouldn't be able to do anything like that. And it's not only about like the ability to read it, but also ability to go directly meet our clients in person, shake hands, make impression, go to trade shows and conferences, that stuff.
But
like that.
what do you think about English in general? I mean, for example, I really like English, but I like to say that for me, English is like a programming language. I mean, it is so flexible, it is so precise, and at the same time, it's very expressive. But I like to say that English is quite stupid. I mean, I'm really surprised that there are so many people in this world who are like robots, and for them, English is their basic operating system. What do you think about English itself?
I love English. I mean, for me, there are so many From time to time, I got to an article or a piece of writing, and it has so interesting words that there is some poetry in English,
Yes.
and it's good to read like classic American and British literature in original language as well.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And it's like comparing Russian to English. I know it is different because like for me obviously
Yes,
Russian
I
is
told you
like
it's like
English.
different operating systems.
But for the English language, I have to say that it's like another way of thinking. Then I think in English I think slightly different than I think
Yeah,
in
that's
Russian.
true.
And there might be other ideas that come to my mind, and the way I express them, it depends. I mean, if I try to express them in Russian, that will be one thing. But I usually try to express them in the same language where.
It's like, is it like having two personalities?
No, I mean, because it's conscious. It's a decision that you make consciously. Like, you can switch. It's just like I don't know, having a regular way of operating and some other regular way of operating.
Yes. And you work with customers from the USA. What do you think about America? Do you like this country? Maybe you dislike something?
Oh, I really like this country. Like people often ask me why I love this country, and one of the things that is that they don't have bribery and corruption, at least at domestic, like regular, real life level. So, like cops there, they do not take bribes.
They don't take bribes.
They don't take
So
bribes.
unusual.
It's very unusual, at least for a Russian citizen. And like comparing that to other countries where I've been, like in Asia, like Thailand, where you come to that place and you know that cops there take bribes to you, so if you feel like at home, that you can always negotiate something if it's not
If it's negotiable.
if it's negotiable.
But would you say that in the USA there are more opportunities for entrepreneurs?
Absolutely, more opportunities, more examples, more. Market is bigger, like dramatically bigger, and for example, for IT, the center of IT is definitely in America, in Silicon Valley, and that's where everything is happening. So.
Yeah, but still you live here in Russia. Why is that? I mean, you probably have visas and everything. You could stay in America for longer, but you are here in Rostov. Why is that? I mean, there are so many people who would like to escape from here.
Well, it's a complicated question. I mean, I do want to move from Rostov to America one day, but I do want to do that at my conditions, at the comfortable level, let's say, and not just to like
So
fly there.
you don't
and
want to
apply
go
for
there
a
as a refugee or something?
No, not at all. And I don't want to get married just for the sake of obtaining a passport.
It is not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too risky.
But that hasn't been that for always. I mean, like I remember 5 years ago, I thought that I will never move out of Rostov. That I thought that if everyone's move out, who is going to make this city and this country better? And like moving to another country is kind of escaping, getting like trying to avoid difficulties. And that's not fair. It's not fair, but it's not a good thing to do. I mean,
So I mean, you should fight the difficulties here in Russia.
Yeah, and you should make this country
working for
better.
American customers.
Why not? I mean, we bring American money into country.
That's very good. You know, it's almost like selling oil abroad.
Yeah, what I used to say is that we are selling brain power abroad, and
So you are brain power exporters.
Exporters, yeah.
Yes. And let's get a little bit more philosophical. So I want to ask you about your purpose in life. Do you need one? Is it necessary to live with a purpose?
I absolutely believe that every person has to find his purpose in life, and if they can't find it, they need to invent it, at least for his own internal needs and for well-being. My purpose in life is big. I wanna. Okay. I have it in my list. First of all, I wanna build a really big technical company, like something at scale of Amazon.
Mhm.
And then with that, I have a long list of what to do next after that.
Good. That's a good purpose. But is it just about making money, or do you want to have this feeling of building something big?
I tell you what, like for a long time I thought that money is not important at all. So if you have talent, if you have persistence, you can build whatever you want and whatever you need, and money is just like a byproduct, side effect of what you do. However, now I think that you really need to think about money and think about earning them more, or like getting them more, getting a bigger cash flow, because money is essentially a tool for a person to amplify his abilities.
Yeah,
and
I like this word of amplifying your abilities and everything.
Yeah.
It really
So
works
money
like that.
is really important in that sense.
Alexey, of course it's not, and it's not a job interview, but anyway, I want to ask you, what is your life going to be like in 10 years?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I will have a bigger company that will have offices at least in 3 countries. So right now it's like Russia and America. There will be another one somewhere in where there is no winter with snow anymore. So maybe we'll see. That's one thing. Another thing that it's about not only business, of course, but the business is number 1 priority. I mean, then I think about my purpose in life, or what's most important, the business, and my work or the company is always takes precedence. It's always number 1.
Good. And let's get back to our English talk show. So you attend English talk show from time to time, not today unfortunately, but anyway, and some people from English talk show know you, as you remember. So
Yeah.
what do you think about our club? What are the positives and negatives?
I love it.
Maybe you hate something.
No,
maybe
it's really good. I mean, like I had a pleasure to compare your club with other clubs in Sherbachev. In yours, it feels like a very good niche, and it's good in the sense that it's not just a random discussion where people try to outcry.
It's very structured.
It's
and
structured.
even boring
it's
sometimes.
It depends, and you give opportunity to every member of a club to speak.
Yes.
And you promote them to speak, and that's good, because I've seen at other clubs that people come there, they are shy to speak, and without an incentive or like a small force applied to them, they won't actually start speaking. And you help them.
Parties like that need a real host,
Yeah.
so someone who will moderate the discussion. And what are the negatives? Maybe you dislike something, there are too many people around you.
The only one, I mean, it runs at 7 p.m.
7:30 actually.
7:30 Tuesdays, and that's like about the middle of my business day.
Mhm.
That's why I cannot attend it more often.
So you work some American schedule.
Yeah.
So
Late
you're
hours.
very emotionally and you are very emotionally connected to American time zones and everything.
Yeah.
But just could you tell us a little bit more about your business, your product? I mean, people are probably interested in the products in the product you export to the Americans.
Yeah, sure. Like we build software for e-commerce companies.
Mhm.
We help e-commerce companies to improve on-site search experience with to
It's
improve
like a search engine for.
search engine for e-commerce websites with filters, with type ahead suggestions, with misspelling correction,
Mhm.
and ranking products on the website in the right order. And the right order can be it can use different factors depending on like sales data, suggestions, personalized suggestions, and then so on.
So you make a website smarter.
We make like shoppers' experience easier, so they can find what they want to buy and buy.
And people
quicker.
buy more
And
when
people buy
they feel more
yeah.
comfortable.
And they have like better user experience. They come more often to the website for for covering shopping, and that the bottom line for merchants is that they have a higher conversion rate.
So there are some crazy ladies that are laughing so loudly, but don't worry. So Alexey, maybe you have some questions to me, or you would like to address our audience, and while you are talking about something, I'll read some. So continue. So any questions to me, or anything else you would like to say?
My question to you will be, like, I know you are in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Do you plan to get married?
Well, it's a good question, and maybe I should even return to the view. Okay. By the way, that's what I wanted to ask you, but I wasn't sure that you are so much interested in it. But I mean, I think it's in the longer term, it's a good idea to get married. I mean, even some people who have not been married for many decades came to this conclusion that it's not such a horrible idea to get married. I mean, and you know, getting married and having a family is like some basis of your life in the longer term, because, well, I don't know your age, and I'm not interested. You're probably younger than I am. I'm not sure.
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 36 quite soon.
36. I'm going to be 36 quite soon as well in April.
Well, so
we are in the close.
So we have something in common. So I believe that having a family is a good idea, and you probably notice that the older you get, the more, well, it's like some emptiness, but not exactly emptiness. So you need some important project for your life. That's good that you have your own business, but you probably know that having business or having some hobbies is not enough. You need something else.
Well,
what is your approach if you started talking about it?
My approach is that I tend to think about family or having children as a business project, and I think that it's not a big enough project, not ambitious enough. I mean, everyone around me, not everyone, but
So
a lot of people around me.
You mean when you start a family, you become like everyone else?
Yeah, basically.
To some extent, yes, you're right.
And so, like, hundreds of generations have done that before me, and I'm not going to do anything new in that sense.
It can be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I tend to think that after a certain age, if a man hasn't married yet, the advantages of getting married become less obvious compared to disadvantages of getting married.
Well, I think the advantages are the same and they are not so high, but when you are young, you just can't judge wisely enough to understand it.
Maybe.
But still, I can't make you any recommendations, but as a person of almost your age, I would say that maybe you should at least think about it. Even I used to be against marriage, but even I started thinking about it. I mean, there can be some benefits of getting married. Well, there are so many responsibilities. You don't belong to yourself, and your wife can take 50% of your assets someday. It's very risky, especially for a man, boys and girls. But you should try. Anything else you would like to ask about, Alexey?
No, that's it.
Yes. And I want to ask you. Well, first of all, you can make an address to our audience, and secondly, I would like you to address those people who are still afraid to participate in an interview. Not just English club. There are some people who are afraid of participating in this interview.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's not.
interview is definitely fun, and I can't say it's relaxing, but it's not horrible at all as well.
Yeah, except that person who is playing the piano at the moment.
I would say that
Maybe something about English talk show.
English talk show that
Bring some people here.
really use your ability, use your time, not to watch another series, but to learn English, or to watch series in English, or read books in English, whatever. So get back to English, practice it. It will help you a lot in the long term.
Yeah, and you can have so much socializing even in Rostov if you know English properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've met so many nice people, and so many of my friends and acquaintances from my English club. It's amazing. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Alexey, thank you so much for participating in this interview. I'm gonna give you this one-day voucher for Ziferblatt. Unfortunately,
Wow.
technically you can't use it today, but you should write your name and you can use it starting tomorrow. Maybe next Tuesday you will have enough time to join us at English Talk Show, or you can come
I
here.
will be out of Rostov next Tuesday. I have a business trip to New York for next month. So.
But you will
We'll be
return and
back.
hopefully you will use it someday. Thank you so much. Boys and girls, you were watching English Talk Show interviews with Alexey Sherbachev, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And cut.
Thanks.